guys, Eric here from Eric's Hobby Workshop, and I thought today a fun video would be a sort of unboxing video. This isn't a traditional unboxing video because, as you can see, this is not a traditionally packaged box of any kind, but this is a bag of bits that I bought when I was on a recent trip looking for pieces to help with my Sector Mechanicus terrain projects that I've been working on. So I can obviously see through the bag. This isn't going to be a total cold reaction, but I thought I could go through these pieces on camera, try to figure out what exactly is in this bag, and hopefully there's some interesting stuff in here. If there's anything that I don't know what it is, maybe you guys can help me out in the comments to identify the pieces. So without further ado, let's pour this out and get going. Okay, so right off the bat, this statue is jumping out at me. I know what this is. This is a statue from the Weathertop set, which of course is that famous scene in Lord of the Rings where Frodo gets stabbed with that ring-wraith blade. And if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the statues from that set. So that's very cool. I have a graveyard set that'll go really nicely in. And that's a cool find. Next, I see there's clearly all these jungle plants here, but these come from the 3rd edition 40k box set, if I'm not mistaken. The starter set with that nice picture by John Blanche on the cover of the Black Templars, the one that came with the Dark Eldar and Black Templars. So these are really cool. I don't actually have any of these in my collection because I am not a 40k player until very, very recently. I've gotten into the 40k universe. So these will really be great. I've got a jungle set from my Illustrious set, and those will go nicely to add a little bit more biodiversity to my already quite diverse jungle. Next up, I see we've got these, I guess what would you call these? Tank stoppers of some kind. Forgive me, my vocabulary is abandoning me here, but these are tank traps, maybe you would call them. And as you can see, they slot together like this. I've never actually owned any of these. I remember playing around with some of these when I was younger, trying to make orc conversions at a friend's house. Space orcs, that is. And that's pretty cool. They're nicely riveted. They're just a traditional cool piece of 40k scenery. Nice, I'll stick those together just for cohesion. Leave them over there. Beautiful. Great, next up, I see we've got these little street lighty guys. 3 of those in there. And if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. If I'm not mistaken, these are from a basing set. I think it's a Sector Imperialis basing kit. They might have come in a few other things as well. But these will be really great for my Sector Mechanicus terrain and my Necromunda terrain. As you can see, they've got this nice half Gothic arch feel with the point and the skull. Very grimdark, very 40k in the aesthetic. Just a nice detail to add. Next up, we've got this. This looks like another one of those tank traps. Different kind, of course. This is kind of like this reminds me of D-Day, this one, the famous Saving Private Ryan scene where they've got all those deadfalls and tank traps set up on the beach. I don't know if they actually had anything that looks like that, but it also reminds me a bit of a clipper for if you ever got your hair cut at a barber. I mean, you know, some of you ladies might not have, but when they buzz your hair, they put one of these clips on there. You know, anyways, moving on. This looks like, oh, very cool. That's a little Warhammer Fantasy window type thing. There's little tiny crosses up there that are sort of what I would associate with the Reiksguard in Warhammer Fantasy, and a tiny little skull as well. So that would be great for a Mordheim or any sort of Warhammer Fantasy build, which I do from time to time, so that's cool. These pieces, now these I wasn't sure about for a little while, but I think I know what they are. They look about the right size to be sort of a catwalk, or I guess a gantry for something like Necromunda or 40k, but what they really are, and if you look closely you can see these cool details, these fans and whatnot. This is the top of an epic 40K sort of skyscraper thing, where I guess they originally came with a cardboard building, and then this would plop on the top, and then you'd have various sort of skyscrapers for your little warlord titans and things to move around. So these are pretty cool. I don't play anything in the epic scale, so these will probably end up detail pieces in my upcoming Sector Mechanicus stuff, but that's really cool. Some cool pieces in there. And yeah, as you can see on the bottom here, GW 1991, and this one's 1989. So these are kind of older, cool, classic pieces that I'm really glad are in there. Next up, this is pretty cool. Looks like a Warhammer fantasy piece to me. I think this is actually from one of the more recent Warhammer Fantasy Age of Sigmar medieval type building kits, and this is just sort of a support. This is a very versatile piece. You know, actually my vision for the Underhive futuristic universe that I'm trying to create buildings in right now doesn't have a lot of wood, so I probably won't use this for that, but this I'll keep around for some future projects, and that's pretty cool. This is a nice little flying buttress with a nice grimdark style. Got some lights, rivets, skulls, spikes, just perfect 40K detail stuff. That's beautiful. We've got a bunch of these. These are sort of wall panels, and these are really cool. This is something that I think seeing these through the side of the bag is why I decided to buy the bag. I mean, there's a lot in here, but these are really the cool pieces. And these must be some sort of older 40K terrain set that I actually can't identify. So if you guys know what these are, or what set they're from, please post it in the comments. But as you can see, they're just covered in detail, and exactly the type of detail I'd like to get. You know, they've got rivets, they've got vents, they've got wires, they've got, this one's got sort of that scroll iconography. This one is a lot more of the traditional Gothic 40K look with all these skulls, and then on the other side of this one you can see there's this sort of, I don't know if you call these servo skull type deals, but there's wires intermeshed with the skulls, which is just a really cool aesthetic. Lots of Gothic arches, chains, you know, just really great stuff. Like, this is the type of stuff that really adds detail to your terrain pieces, makes it pop on the battlefield. So those will probably show up in some of my Sector Mechanicus terrain that I'm building coming up. I see here we got some barrels. These are two halves of a different barrel, so they don't go together. So these, you know, might look good floating in some water or something like that, or I'll figure out how to use these, but these really can't be made into full-on barrels, but that's still pretty cool. Nice little bits. This, I know what this is. This is a gibbet. Where, you know, you put people in there to rot when they've done something bad, or in this particular case, this is from the Warhammer Plastic Giants kit, which came with a lot of cool extra bits, and I guess this is sort of a handmade cage that a giant would keep something in to keep, you know, a snack fresh and wriggling for when he was ready to snack on it. So this would be sort of on the giant's hip, I suppose, if you wanted to build this set like that. Again, this is only half of the piece, so I won't be able to make a full cage easily, but I'll figure out something to do with that. Cool little piece. These two things looking at me are obviously Imperial Aquilas, which Aquila is of course Latin for eagle. These are this weird white plastic resiny stuff. I don't know what these are from. These might have even been cast by whoever made this, sort of in a secondary way. I really don't know. If anybody knows what these are from, please let me know. They do have these sort of two holes in them, which, you know, in hindsight is actually just these spots where the eagle's faces are. There's two-headed eagles. But yeah, these are cool. If I wanted to make something look a little bit more imperial, this is an easy way to do it. Very nice. We got, looks like a little piece of flooring that has the corner cut out, so I assume it goes with the terrain kit. Not sure which one. If anybody knows which terrain kit this is from, please let me know. I think it might actually be from the same kit as these Jungle Plants, which is the 3rd edition box set, but I don't know, so let me know if you know. Another cool piece, this is, got this nice sort of metal flooring pattern. It's just a base. It's got some beam sort of stuff underneath. Definitely the type of bit that comes in handy making Sector Mechanicus / Underhive terrain. Very useful. That looks like an arm of some kind with the tip broken off of it. I think this is Empire Militia Kit. I really don't know. It's something small. This here, oh, you know what that is? That's the inside of a crate. Those are little missiles or shells that go inside of one of the Imperial crate sets, which, as far as I can tell, I don't have the set here. Oh, here's a lid for a crate. So, an incomplete crate. Again, cool little detailed piece. That'll come in handy. There's another cool panel. As you can see, there's a nice little vent on there. Rivets, patterns. The other side has a lot of cool pattern too. This is exactly the sort of piece that I'm looking for. I love it. Ah, here's another Imperial looking piece. And you know, this might actually go with something like this. And you can prop it up. Yeah, there's a little notch in there that seems to fit decently nicely. Not sure if these sets originally go together. But it's the same sort of aesthetic. Spikes, Gothic arches, skulls. Beautiful. Perfect. Exactly what I'm looking for. And then what do we have here? Two little girder type pieces, little supports. Not sure what these are. They might even go with something like this. I don't know. If anybody knows what these are, let me know. Obviously very small pieces. And oh, one more sort of support with the Imperial Eagle sort of appearance. Nice looking aesthetic on that. And then that leaves this thing. Now this thing is interesting because, as you can see, it's got sort of a clump of rock with a skull, but that is not a 28mm size skull or a Warhammer size skull. That's sort of a troll size skull. Very interesting. I don't know if this is even a Games Workshop thing. It's sort of, the plastic seems to sort of match, but I just don't know. Anybody knows what that is? Let me know in the comments. Cool, so that's that bag that I got. Pretty good haul, pretty impressed. And I look forward to using some of these pieces in my upcoming Sector Mechanicus projects. So if you see any of that, yeah, look forward to that stuff coming out on the channel, the Sector Mechanicus stuff. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.